Sarah's making a racket.
Just fumbling with papers over here.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you today. It is cold and windy here in Ohio. What better time to talk about the Christmas design, right?
Yeah.
So,
you know what? I think everyone is more in the Christmas spirit than you guys let on yesterday.
Yes. We actually had a friend of ours pop in today, and she said her daughter is already up, right?
Has her Christmas tree
Has
up,
it
yes.
up. So yeah, some of the early decorators are doing their thing.
She said her husband was already pulling down Christmas lights too.
Yes.
And getting ready for that.
So I love my house.
I know.
My husband's always like, I'm not doing that. It's so much work. And I'm like, I want the Christmas lights. 67 degrees and sunny in Oregon.
Perfect.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Chilly Metro Detroit. I'm going to Detroit, not this weekend, but next weekend. All right, cool. Well, we are excited to get day 2 underway.
Rosemary said, no. You have to wait at least for Thanksgiving. I don't know, Rosemary.
I mean, at least after Halloween.
That's what I do now.
To each their own. To each their own. You do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Okay, so yesterday we released the sweetest Nutcracker 3-block wall hanging, and I've got all of the sizing details and all that stuff. So we are going to get into that. If you were able to join us yesterday, put a number 6 in the comments. And if you did not get to join us yesterday, maybe you watched the replay, maybe you didn't watch it all, put a number 4 in the comments. I'm just making stuff up as we go.
There are strong feelings on when you put up your Christmas tree in this chat.
Yes.
Cecilia said, it should be illegal to put it up right now.
Those are strong feelings.
I love it.
Okay. So 6 was you were here yesterday. 4 is you were not here yesterday. So I see some number 4s. We are going to make sure that we give you a nice, proper recap. But before we do, please also note that Nina is available to help. So if a question comes up or the cart doesn't look quite like it should, or just whatever the thing is, or you downloaded it and something, go ahead and call Nina or email Nina after the live. She's in the comments with us today. So everybody say hi, Nina. Internet was down. Yeah. Internet's been weird. We've had techie things this week, but I think we're back in action. Someone said theirs was down. My son told me last night, our internet sucks. I'm like, well, go outside then.
Get off your computer.
Yeah.
Go do something else.
That's right. So anyways, we will pop Nina's contact information up again at the end. So don't feel like you need to hurry up and write this down or anything, but just know that if something arises, especially on the personal front with your ordering or you working on a design, you can reach out and we will help you directly. It's the best way to go. Let me tell you that, because otherwise your comments can get lost in the shuffle of all the social media. So Sarah, you want to talk about your adorable design?
Yeah.
I do have the size. You want me to pull the sizing up too?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Here we go.
So Christmas Nutcracker. I mean, I feel like he says it all when you look at him, right?
Yes.
But he's a really cute Christmas Nutcracker. Obviously, you can see our traditional colorway right here. Minimum hoop size is 6.5 by 7 inches. So make sure that your hoop can fit that 6.5 by 7 inch block. And approximate finish size right around 14 by 26.5 inches. Obviously multi-formatted. It's $35. Let's show them. Can we show them some close-ups over here?
Yes, we can.
Let me move this. Okay. So here is our Christmas Nutcracker. And if you're brand new here, if you've never joined one of our workshops, if you don't even know what Hoop Sisters is, we just make these fun quilt in the hoop designs, right? So here's our Christmas Nutcracker. What is really awesome about this is all this beautiful quilting over here in the border is all included. So you don't have to worry about putting this together and then going to a long armor or quilting it yourself or anything like that. This is all included in your design files. So you can see he kind of uses a mix of applique and the stitch and flip process, which you'll see a little bit of that stitch and flip process today because we're going to walk through steps on how to make our top block right here. And yesterday, if you were, I think it was number 4, if you weren't here yesterday, we stitched out our top border block, which is just applique. And then today we're going to walk through this block, which is applique and stitch and flip.
Mm-hmm.
But
Perfect.
He's a cutie. He's got lots of details, lots of fun details, even on his
He
boots.
is not a cutie. He is handsome.
Okay, he is handsome and elegant.
And serious.
And very serious. Have you ever seen a smiling Nutcracker? They probably exist, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, I've never seen a smiling Nutcracker. Okay, so the next thing that I had the slide to do was just jump into your demo, but I do think I want to address this.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm seeing questions like, and I know Nina's gotten emails and some phone calls, like, are you guys going to have more kits? So unfortunately, we are not going to have more kits. They are completely sold out. We're not doing any back orders on this one. And a lot of times we do our absolute best to guess based on previous designs and things like that, how many we need to stock. But man, first of all, that's really hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, we work with different manufacturers of fabric who have different stock levels.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we buy the specific fabric way in advance as we're making samples. And then by the time it gets to the launch, you can't get it anymore. So we won't always be able to do back orders, pre-orders, all that kind of stuff. So just know that we're doing the best we can on the kits, but there will not be more. However, Nina has posted in our VIP Facebook group, and this is also being emailed out later today, the exact inserts for both of these colorways. So you can go online and see if you can find it. You can go to your local quilt shop and see if you can find it, or find something really close. And I got to say, as nice as the kits are, especially if you like the look of it, it is a lot of fun to see when someone goes kind of out on their own, branches out, uses their own fabric. Also, check your stash. I know you guys got some stash.
We were talking yesterday too about, so the kits that we offered are kind of your traditional red, green, gold, and then a little more, Aubrey called it kind of coastal.
Yeah.
I call it non-traditional, just blue, silver, red. But Nutcrackers can come in any color, right? We've seen pink Nutcrackers. They are in every single color now.
I'm serious. I went to, I almost said Nana. Our mom, our grandkids call Nana. Nana and I went shopping yesterday or the day before.
The day when I wasn't here.
Sarah's very upset that we went without her, but we had to go get specific buttons for her daughter's birthday present that Nana made. And so I went along with her and we went button shopping, which was a lot of fun. And Sarah wasn't here and she didn't get to go.
They went to lunch without me too.
I mean, it wasn't a plan. It just kind of happened. But anyways, besides all that, the other reason I wanted to go is because this particular store I knew had Christmas stuff. And I just kind of wanted to peek. I didn't buy anything. I've displayed and decorated nothing. But I did just kind of go down the aisles and lots of pink Nutcrackers.
Pastel kind of colors,
like very different colors. And I don't know if it's been like that forever. And I'm just now paying attention to it because I knew we had the design coming.
So this was created we're going off on a long tangent here. So I'm sorry about that. We made this about a year ago.
Yeah.
And that's how far we worked in advance on this one. And when I made it, yes, Nutcrackers come in any color you can.
So you looked when you made it and it's been like that.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Yes.
And I don't have any. I don't have a lot of Nutcrackers. So anyways, I guess the point is you can make this in any color you want. And I'm sure it's going to be beautiful, match your home decor, and it'll be great. So again, the fabric inserts, if you want to try this to find the same fabric online or at your local quilt shop or something similar, we have posted it in our VIP Facebook group. You're also getting it in your email. And pink is the thing. Yeah. Like I had no idea, Susan, but now I know.
Now you know. Yeah.
Now I know. Okay. So enough of my shopping adventures without Sarah.
So rude.
I know. I'm so sorry. Anyways, what are you going to show us today?
Today we're going to come over here. I'm going to show you guys how to stitch out the top block of the main 3 blocks within our wall hanging. I have this little, sometimes Annie calls it a book, which it kind of is a book. They're thick sometimes, but I love these things. I think that they're nice. We can kind of go back a step if you guys have specific questions. So let's just get going. If you have questions, pop them in the comments. We will get to them. I'll try to get to them as soon as you ask them so that we don't go too far, right? But first things first, if you're brand new, this is Battleizer. Battleizer is our batting and stabilizer combination. It's a batting that has the scrim of the stabilizer on the back of it. So it's just one product that you have to hoop versus 2 products if you were hooping stabilizer and batting. This is great because you can just pop it in your hoop and start stitching. One of the biggest questions we get when we talk about Battleizer is there a right way and wrong way to hoop it? There's really not. You can hoop it whichever way works for you, whichever way you pop it in the hoop. Your block is going to look beautiful no matter what. However, I will say if you want to be a little more particular, there is a scrim on one side of it. And if you kind of pick at the edges, you can kind of loosen that scrim a little bit. We do like to hoop it scrim side down. The reason is because if you ever add your backing fabric in the hoop, it'll cling a little bit better. It's a little more, it's not quite as smooth, I'll say, on the scrim side. So those are just a couple particulars about Battleizer, addressing one of those questions that we get most often. But if my Battleizer's in my hoop, now we're going to do step 1. And step 1 is to sew the placement stitch. I'm going to pull out my instructions just to have them in front of me. Step 1 is to sew the placement stitch with a water-soluble thread. So that's just the outline of our block right here. I obviously didn't do it with a water-soluble thread just so that we could see it on camera. Step 2 is an optional step if you want to add wool batting, or in this case, this is Dream Puff. I hope I got that name right. I think I did. If you want to add some type of batting in your hoop to add a little more texture dimension to your block, you can go ahead and add that in step 2. You just prepare it by pressing the edges in ever so slightly, like a little less than 1/4 of an inch, and then you'll tack it down. And this is all digitized right into the design file. So that's tacked down. If you do add the extra wool, just if you're able to raise your presser foot just a little bit so that it kind of glides right over the wool and doesn't get caught in it. If you don't want to use the wool though, just skip step 2 and move on to step 3, which will sew kind of your pattern onto your block. So you can see the outline of our Nutcracker here, and we're still using that water-soluble thread for that step. Let me go grab my scissors really quick. Okay, sorry about that. For step 4, you're going to align your jacket fabric in the placement stitch, and then you'll sew the tack down. It also stitches the placement stitch for his beard that we will tack down later. And it's hard to see in this lighting, but it is right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your hoop scissors mini and you're going to trim a scant 1/4 inch from the edges on the inside edges of that block. So I'm just a scant 1/4 inch, does not have to be perfect at all. And you'll just keep going until you get around to this other side. You can leave that extra fabric on this outside edge of the block. So he's trimmed up. And this is steps 5 through 7 right here. So 5 through 7 is just adding a little bit of that background fabric that kind of peeks out between his chest and torso and his arms right here. This is a stitch and flip step. So I already did steps 5 and 6 over on this side and trimmed it. And then this is going to kind of represent steps 6 and 7. So you'll take that background fabric, place it right side down. Your raw edge is approximately even with the raw edge of your red fabric right here. And then we're going to sew our seam. After we sew our seam, we can flip this right side up. You just want to finger press that seam nice and smooth. And then still with a neutral thread in the needle, you'll sew your tack down. After you sew your tack down, you're just going to trim a scant 1/4 inch again, right from that tack down stitching, but leave that extra fabric on that outside edge. Okay, same deal right here. Now we're going to stitch and flip his arms. Okay, I said it right. I'm in my head, Aubrey, and I'm thinking flip and stitch like you say it. And I'm like, did I say? I had to. Okay.
We'll have to watch the replay to know for sure.
Yeah. Who knows? They'll tell me
It's
if I
not
said it
flip
wrong.
and stitch. It's stitch and flip. Don't
When
say
you
it my
say
way.
I always think that flip and
I
stitch.
do too,
don't
and
know
I
why.
don't know. I still say it.
So stitch and flip is what steps 9
You
through
can't
11
you
are.
can't flip it till you stitch it, right? So
Correct.
stitch and
Yes.
flip.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So steps 9 through 11 are
Oh,
using that
gosh.
stitch and flip technique. We already did it over on the right-hand side. So steps 9 and 10 are done. And then over here we have step 11. So we're going to take again that jacket fabric, align it right side down, and then we'll sew our seam with a neutral colored thread. Then we're going to flip it right side up, finger press that nice and smooth, and then we'll sew our tack down. After we sew our tack down, which is just going to be a line right across the top, we're going to come in with our hoop scissors and we're going to trim it to a scant 1/4 inch. Again, it does not have to be perfect. Okay, look, more stitch and flip in steps 12 through 15. Again, we've already done it on this side. So we're placing it right side down, sewing our seam, flipping that right side up, finger press, and then sew your tack down. And now you do want to trim this part as well. So I'm going to take my scissors over on this side. I didn't trim it quite yet. And I'm just going to trim a scant 1/4 inch again. You can see it does not have to be perfect. I keep saying that, but how I just trimmed it right there is perfectly fine. You don't have to make sure.
Don't have to be perfect.
I know. Me too, because that's too much pressure. Okay, step 17. Step 17, after you get your background fabric on, we're going to come in with a water-soluble thread, and we're just going to sew a tack down stitch all the way around these edges, because this is where all of our stitch and flip fabric kind of was. And when we stitched our tack downs, they were only on the inside of the block, but now we're going to switch to that water-soluble to tack down those outside edges. I'm not looking at my instructions.
I got a
but
question.
I think I'm getting it right. Yes.
I haven't read it all.
Do you ever
These are
back
coming
your
quick.
fabric with SF 101? I sometimes get some pulling away of fabric during the satin stitch edges, but just use fray check. Do you have any other suggestions? So Kathy, I see that more so if I'm using a more open weave fabric. I will be honest, most of the fabrics that we're using are not quite as open weave. So we don't get that a ton, and therefore we don't back our fabric with anything. You could use a little fray check. That's probably what I would do if I got some of that too. But I think it's probably because you might be using a little bit more of an open weave fabric. So hopefully that helps and makes sense. Okay, that's not a question.
No.
Thank you, Ellen, though. Okay, steps 18 through 19 are just going to stitch some of those beautiful details.
I love it.
So you'll just use a thread color of your choice for both of these. So just one that I would recommend, one that contrasts your fabric, because you want those details to really stick out right there. Okay, step 20 is where we are doing a little more applique. We're going to lay the beard fabric, hair fabric. I don't remember what it's called. Hair fabric is what we call it. Right down over that placement stitch. Sew your tack down. You'll want to use a thread that matches your fabric for this step. I didn't, just so that we can see it on camera. Then we're going to come in with our hoop scissors mini. And we're just going to trim as close as we can to each of these sides. Now, if you're just now joining us, you can see it's not in the hoop right now. However, we are pretending that it is. This is my little demo book today. So we're just pretending that it is.
Don't take yours out at this step.
That you will not be happy if you do that. So we're trimming close to the tack down stitching on each of these sides. And then on this top side right here, all you have to do is trim a scant 1/4 inch again. You don't have to trim close. All right, so we've got that one done. Step 21 is going to sew your satin stitch. So you'll just keep that same thread that matches your fabric and the needle and do your satin stitch. Okay, look, now more stitch and flip. If you can do the steps that we've already done, you can make this block.
They're really like in your demo book.
Oh, good. Good. I'm happy. Lay your face fabric right side down. Raw edges again, approximately even with our previously placed fabrics. You can overlap it a little bit because you might have a darker color fabric like I do right here, this red. And then I have more of a light beige fabric for the face right here. You could overlap it a little bit. The best thing is it doesn't have to be perfect because the seam is digitized to stitch exactly where it needs to stitch. So just overlap it a little, sew your seam, and then flip it right side up, finger press that seam, smooth out your fabric, and then in step 23, we'll tack that fabric down. And you can do that with that same neutral colored thread. So a thread that really kind of matches your face fabric. And you can see I've also got a placement stitch for his little mustache right here. Someone's going to use
Short minky for the hair.
Oh, cute.
Fun.
That'll be so cute. Okay, now that we've got our face on there, we're going to take that hair and we're going to tack down his hair on either side.
Time for a haircut.
That's right. Now we're going to trim his hair, give him a nice little pretty trim, give him some shape. And as I'm doing this, my design's still in my hoop, right? And I'm going to use my hoop scissors mini, and I'm just going to trim close to the tack down stitching on all sides. And as I do it, I'm just kind of gently tugging, not too much, just a little gentle tug. I've got my hair all trimmed. I would go in and do the other side as well. And then this is steps 25 through 27. So step 25 is going to sew your satin stitch on the edge of his face, and it's also going to stitch his nose and then some details on his chin. And then step 26 is going to tack down his mustache, and then you'll trim it. And then for step 27, you're going to stitch the satin stitches on his hair and his mustache. He's getting there. Steps 28 through 34 are fun. This is where you kind of see his face start to come together a little bit. You are going to do, I went one step ahead of time. Step 28, 29, and 30, and I think even 31 are stitching all the details for his eyes right here. And then you'll do his eyebrows, some background quilting, and then you're ending with the crown right here. I didn't finish out the crown all the way, but we're going to trim this, and then we're going to trim up some blocks and show you guys how to join. And this crown is just applique. So we're going to trim close to that tack down stitching on all the sides on the inside edges of the block. And on that outside edge, we're just going to leave this up here because what we're going to do now, so when you guys are stitching this block, you'll want to go a couple more steps than I actually ended up going because it's going to stitch the really pretty satin stitches on the crown as well as some of that detail on the inside of it. Can I hand you that?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, but just like we pretended it was in the hoop, now we're going to pretend we're done stitching it. It's out of the hoop. And now how do we trim this? Because we want to be able to join it to the other block that we stitched yesterday. We're going to trim both of these blocks today. But you want to be able to join these two blocks together so that he can have his full crown, right?
But how are you going to do that? You're going to have all this stuff in there.
I know. Isn't that terrible? Well, we're here to help, right? Because we have our Trimmer by George tool, which is our acrylic ruler that has this nice crimped metal edge. Can you see that? If I get it too close, it'll focus really weird. But I think I just buried my rotary cutter.
Oh, it's over here.
Oh, no, you stole it.
I'll blame
you. I'll blame you. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to remove that battleizer right up to the basting stitch on all sides because where this is located in the wall hanging, it's going to have a block joined to all four sides. So what we do is we're going to use the Trimmer by George. We're going to shimmy it underneath the fabric on the front of the block. We've got that metal edge down there. And then we're just going to lay it flat. We do want to make sure that no fabric is peeking out. And then just do a nice little gentle tug on your battleizer to get that metal edge really nice and close to your basting stitch. Then we can use a 60 millimeter rotary cutter and trim that battleizer away. Let's do that on this side too. So take that metal edge, shimmy it underneath the fabric on the top of your block and then lay it flat. Make sure no fabric is peeking out. Little gentle tug and then trim it away. Okay, let's keep going. Same steps with these other two sides as well. By the way, I should show you before Trimmer by George, this is kind of what we do. We'd take our acrylic ruler, kind of fold the fabric on the front of our block back and down, and then try to line it up as close as we could, trim it away that way. Now, ultimately, you get a little too close, you slice into your block. If you slice into your block, you got to remake it. You can't save that most of the time. Or we'd use the scissors and try to trim it. You're more likely to slice into your block, and we don't like that. So the Trimmer by George saves you from having to make too many blocks too many times. Okay, now we have all of that battleizer removed right up to the basting stitch. And now what we're going to do is we're going to trim the fabric on the front of the block 1/4 inch from the basting stitch.
Lots of nice comments about the trimmer.
It's so nice. I can't imagine all the blocks we make having to trim with the scissors or...
The first trimmer, I'm seeing a question, what's the difference between the original and this one? I don't want to interrupt your demo.
No, you're fine. I was just showing them the complete block that's trimmed. Okay, complete-ish, because we're going to pretend that his satin stitching is up there, right? While you chat about the first trimmer, I'm going to trim a few sides of this one.
Okay, so the first trimmer was all like metal. And did not have the acrylic ruler part, which, by the way, the acrylic ruler has marks for sashing and binding, so you can easily cut that to the width that you need. And this one's a lot more sturdy and has that nice acrylic ruler. This is actually the third version, but we've had this one a while now. It's fantastic.
Okay, so I'm trimming up our border block as well right now, and you can see I'm trimming it the same way I trimmed my other block on these 3 sides that I just did. Now, for our fourth side, and the reason I trimmed it that way again is because on this side, and our bottom side, we're going to have a block joined to each of those sides. But here up at the top, there will be no block. We're just going to have binding stitched to it. So what we want to do, if there's a side of your block that needs binding on it, we're just going to trim 1/4 inch from the basting stitch through all layers. So we'll keep that battleizer in there and just trim it like so. Oh my gosh, look at the color of my fabric. It looks so nice.
She usually uses white.
I would if I could, right? Okay, now we just want to trim up those other 3 sides, trim the top layer 1/4 inch from the basting stitch. Any questions I should answer? Or would you want me to move on to pinning?
You can move on. And I do see one question from Karen over on YouTube, and she's asking, do I need to be on one platform or another to do the drawing? And the answer is no. You just have to be live. So type the word join.
Okay. One thing that makes me think of too, I think more often than not, we have YouTube winners. And that is mostly because I think there's more people often on YouTube. Yeah. So you're not favored depending on the platform that you're on.
Yeah.
That's where I was going with that.
Right.
So you Facebook people
I don't know.
Just as
I
much
used
of a
to think
chance.
that, and now I'm like, I don't know.
Is it 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do get more people from watching on YouTube than we do Facebook.
Yes. Yes.
That's true.
Okay, so now our blocks are trimmed up, and now we have to join them together. So right now I'm going to show you the anchor point pinning technique. And to get this started, what you want to do is you want to find some match points in your blocks. So places where you want your blocks to line up nicely. So on any block that you have, no matter what, you're going to at least have two match points. So your corner, so this corner and this corner are going to want to match, as well as this corner and this corner. And then there's 2 other match points on this block in particular, and that would be the edge of his crown. You want those to match up as well. So what we'll do is we're going to place our blocks right side together. We're going to grab a pin, and this is going to be my anchor pin. So I want to anchor these 2 blocks together right at these corners. So right at the corner of the basting stitch, I'm going to stick my pin straight through, and then same thing on that other match point, the coordinating match point. See how it goes straight through though? I didn't go down into my block with it. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of my block, right at that corner. Okay, these are my anchor pins. Now I want to take another pin, and right next to my anchor pin, I'm going to go through my seam allowance and then down into my block. The point of this anchor pin is that it keeps your block from shifting when you're pinning down into it. So it's keeping your match points nice and close. They're not shifting even just a little bit. And after you get this pin in, you can take your anchor pin out. I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. So my anchor pin's right there. I'm going to pin through my seam allowance down into my block and then remove my anchor pin. So my corners are done. Done with those. Let's do our other match points. So our other match points were our crown. So right at the basting stitch, I'm just pinning right into the crown. My anchor pin's in. Now again, I'll go through the seam allowance and down into my block, and then I can remove my anchor pin. Last match point. There's my anchor pin.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And now I can remove my anchor pin. Okay, so I've got my 4 pins in there. That's really all you need for this block. And now I can go over to my machine. I'm going to start stitching right at the corner of my basting stitch. You can go back a stitch or 2 and then come forward stitching right on top of the basting stitch. Right on it, removing your pins as you go, and your block is going to line up wonderfully.
All right.
Do you want to share some things with them? I'll see if I can't stitch this really quick to show them.
Okay.
Join it together.
Yeah. So let's talk about this super quick. This is all expiring tonight at midnight. So we are getting to the countdown to expiration. Basically tonight, October 23rd at midnight, the bonus is going to go bye-bye, and so is the 10% option. So you can, of course, get just the design for $35, and you can get it on USB, or you can get it as a digital download, and then you can download it right away. So that's the $35 option. If you need something else, like maybe some battleizer or the trimmer, even the hoop scissors that Sarah was using today during her demo of the little in the book, she was using the hoop scissors. There's also some other design options in that category. So if something else catches your eye and you add 2 items to your cart, you're going to get 10% off, and you're going to get the bonus, which is pinned on the wall. Let me grab that. So the bonus is really adorable too, and it would just kind of make the set complete. So you got probably the registration gift, then you can get the design. Then this beautiful Nutcracker mug rug will pop in your cart when you add 2 or more items. And the quilting and even the quilting on the back of this, that white, is really beautiful. So he would make your set perfectly complete. But again, that's going to expire tonight at midnight. So there are also a couple exceptions within that category. We'll have Nina drop the order links. There are a few exceptions, and that would be things like wool batting, any threads, our strip stick, the bias tape maker. So a couple exceptions, but for the most part, all the Hoop Sisters tools and designs, you can definitely get 10% off when you add 2 or more. All right.
Okay, so there's our cute little Nutcracker all joined together. Now, again, I did this without the satin stitching on here just for demonstration's sake, but my corners match up really, really nice. And then the other thing you'd want to look at is, does your satin stitching match up really, really nice? So let me just, one more time. I know you guys have seen it many times. So just because we're missing some detail there, these are those 2 blocks that we just joined together. So give that anchor point pinning technique a try if you think it might help you, because I think it's really helped me at least.
Beautiful.
All righty.
Lined up great. Okay. No, the design is not going away. So no worries there. The design's not going anywhere. You can definitely get the design even into tomorrow for the $35. The bonus, the 10%, and the free shipping, which we're going to talk about right now, these do go away at midnight. So 3 of the things do, the design does not. So the last part of the promotion, again, expires tonight at midnight. If your cart hits $99 after your discounts come off, and if your order's shipping within the contiguous US, it's going to ship to you for free. And all that stuff will happen automatically. You don't need any coupon codes or anything like that. So just know that. Okay. You want to show something over there?
No, I was just pulling them out.
They're so
He was hiding
adorable.
under there, so I had to
She's
pull
got a
them
little
out.
collection of nutcrackers over
Yeah.
here now. Okay, so let's do some live giveaways. If you have not yet typed the word join and maybe you're just now joining the live, make sure you do that whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. And before I do the live viewer giveaway, Sarah, we have a live challenge. We have a challenge winner too.
Cool. Let's see it.
Okay, so let's see if she's on today.
It looks like Sherry Holland Brandt. That's
Yes.
awesome.
And look at all those nutcrackers.
It's going to be a nutcracker Christmas, she says.
Yes, I love it. So this was
Awesome.
the registration gift. She made it. She posted it in our VIP group. And if you do that when we have workshops going on, I'll just kind of grab a winner. I'll run to the group. First one I see is the winner, and it was Sherry this time. So congratulations. And I will say, I think this time around we might have had the most number of that one freebie made. Does that make, am I saying that right?
Many people stitched many, as you can see Sherry did.
Yes.
Yes.
So very cool. Congratulations to you, Sherry. Sherry, you have won $25 in Hoop Sisters store credit. So Sherry, you are going to need to email Nina, let her know that you are the challenge winner for the Nutcracker workshop, and she will add that $25 to your account. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move into the live viewer giveaway. So whoever is watching live and type the word join is going to be in the mix. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Anybody else want to play? All right, here we go. We're going to pick a winner. This person is going to get $50 in Hoop Sisters store credit. Beverly Hooper. And see, she's a Facebook watcher. So awesome. So congratulations, Beverly. You are the winner of the $50 in Hoop Sisters store credit today. So what you are going to want to do is also email Nina and let her know that you were the live viewer giveaway for this workshop. And she will get that added to your account. So we've given away $120 in store credit yet again. So hope you guys enjoy, and thank you for joining us live, participating, making it fun, commenting, and all that good stuff. I've got a tickle in my throat all of a sudden.
Can I answer a question from Joanne?
Yes, you can.
Let's start in there.
Let's see. There you go.
Joanne said, could you put the backing on while stitching the blocks instead of a one-piece backing? So Joanne, this particular design really isn't intended to add the backing while it's in the hoop. You probably could if you just go back to step 1 and tack it down using that step. You'd have to kind of look at it and decide. You can make it your own by doing that, but you won't see in our instructions where it says to add the one-piece backing, because it's really intended, or I'm sorry, to add the backing in the hoop, because it's really intended just as a wall hanging to use a one-piece backing to finish it.
Okay, cool. All right. And then Betsy asks, what is the code to get 10% off? Betsy, guess what? There's no code. You don't even need a code. You just need to add 2 or more items from the new arrivals category, which is the link that we're dropping in the comments. Click that link and put 2 or more items in your cart, and it'll take 10% off. Again, there's a couple exclusions in there. So if you're not seeing the 10% off, then you probably have wool or the strip stick or a bias tape maker. And some of those things are not included, but all the Hoop Sisters products are. So if you need any more help, Betsy, feel free to reach out. Nina can help you over the phone. She can even place an order for you over the phone and make sure that you are getting that 10% off. This next comment was
This-
just hilarious.
This made me laugh.
And we had to say it.
Yeah. So Linda's watching and she's watching on mute and captions. She's reading
Yeah.
captions. And I think this is funny because it said Budweiser for Battleizer. I'm a big voice to text person.
Uh-huh.
And that gets me in trouble a lot. Because I'll say things that is not what I intended at all. Like get me some more Budweiser instead of Battleizer. I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. All right. Here's a question for you. There you go.
Sorry. Did you serpentine the back? So yes, this one, did we on this? Yes, we did on this one. I had to look for it. It was hard to see. So yes, with the monopoly invisible thread, there's a serpentine stitch in the ditch after everything is joined. And this is what's going to help attach the backing. You can kind of see it on the backing there a little bit more, that serpentine stitch. But on the front, when you use monopoly thread to do that, it just blends right in.
Okay. I think we got them all. Brenda says, I have the 2 of the original cutter. I should update. Well, that's the other really cool thing about it, Brenda. The functionality of the trimmer has not changed. We've upgraded it. We've made it sturdier. We've made it just a better tool, but the functionality remains the same. So if you still have the original or the second and it's holding up and working great for you, you can keep using it or you can upgrade, but it's not anything that you have to do, which I think is really nice. Okay. I think we might have done it, but please again, know if you have any questions, give us a call and we will make sure to get you all taken care of. Nina's phone number and email is right there on the screen. So at this point, you guys, it's shopping time. If you have not yet ordered, please remember the discounts from the 10% off to the bonus to the free shipping all go away at midnight. So we hope you guys love it. And I know you do because yesterday it went crazy. We sold out of the kits quick, all the things, which always tells us that you absolutely love it. So enjoy, have a fabulous, actually, I got one more thing.
What is it? You told me to remind you of something, but you already did that.
I did that.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm kicking off a UFO challenge. So tomorrow in our VIP Facebook group events tab, we've sent lots of emails and things like that. I am going to go live tomorrow in there at 10 a.m. And if you have any unfinished projects,
Unfinished business,
we got to get it resolved. We're gonna go at it from basically tomorrow till I think November. The first Monday in November. I don't remember when it is.
Okay.
But if you have anything outstanding, we're going to clean it up. Okay. But in a fun way. We're going to have fun. So, all right, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow in a different live, different thing. But we're excited for that. And then we're going to have a great weekend.
That's right.
You're having a 2-year-old birthday party.
I am. Oh, gosh.
Okay. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.